Today on the channel, we've got two new X-Men Marvel Legend figures from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. We got Fabian Cortez, and for the Age of Apocalypse, we got Gambit.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends X-Men unboxing and review. And today, Fabian Cortez and the Age of Apocalypse Gambit are on deck. But for all your Marvel Legend needs and a whole lot more, make sure you hit up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code ADOFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, the Age of Apocalypse, one of my absolute favorite storylines from when I was a kid. You had to be there, it feels like, because I do hear a lot of people didn't like that era. I really enjoyed it, but I guess it was just a window where I was reading. I don't know, but I am excited to add to the Age of Apocalypse shelf. That'll be really fun to have him part of that, and I hope we get more Age of Apocalypse characters in the future. And then we're diving over to the little Magneto team here from the old Jim Lee X-Men days. Fabian Cortez here. I really want an Exodus figure. He's been a top want for me the last couple of years. Feels like with Fabian Cortez, we're getting a little closer maybe to an Exodus. We'll see what happens. Have to imagine we'll get that over the next year. Got to think San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe they'll finally announce my Exodus figure. We'll see what happens there. But one thing we know what'll happen for sure is how we're going to do this review. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And let's start it off with Age of Apocalypse Gambit. How about? We're going to Gambit, one of my absolute favorite X-Men. One of my favorites in the Age of Apocalypse as well. I remember the big thing in Age of Apocalypse. Now, it's been, when did it come out? That was the last time I read it, but I think I remember him killing Colossus along the way. And I think he was kind of in and out of the X-Men, and wasn't it the Externals? But anyways, Gambit, a popular performer, no matter what timeline, no matter what legacy we're in. Pretty cool looking Gambit here too, if the Age of Apocalypse is your thing. Marvel Legends, X-Men, of course. Nemesis is the Build-A-Figure. We will build him, and we'll rank the entire wave later on, so stay tuned for that video in the future. Gambit on the side, looking like a Gambit could look. Very similarly over here, looking good. Cross-sell on the back, tons of jibber-jabber. We do get a little blurb, though. Let's see what it says about our old friend Gambit here. Gambit is sent on a mission to help correct the timeline and prevent the immortal villain Apocalypse from conquering Earth. How about that? How about that? Old Remy getting things done, I guess, out there is what he's doing. So we're going to get him out of the package, see what all the fuss is about. Nothing too fun there. See you later. Goodbye. All right. Like a young Michael Jordan, really. Yeah. Michael Jordan. There it is. Gambit looking good. Looking good in the package. We do got a couple of extra hands here. There it is. Todd McFarland for the couch today. Todd, how are you? Yeah, a little down in the dumps. Yeah, I get it. I know you love your superheroes, and he doesn't like the Marvel Legends. Doesn't like them. You don't like them? You don't like the scaling. Oh, yeah, and those terrible pinless joints. Oh, he hates those pinless joints. See you later. Goodbye. All right, we do get a big leg here. We'll talk about that in the future, of course. Stay tuned. We got two gloved Fists of Fury, two brown Fists of Fury. We're here for that, of course, so Gambit can throw some punches, you guys know, in bunches. That's what he's going to do. We do got the little stick right here, of course. Gambit, we've seen this in the past with all the other Gambit figures. You got to have this with him. He's always swinging this thing around, so we got that going on. Now getting down to the hands right here, we do got a gripping hand, of course, to hold his stick. He's got to have that. And we do got a little bit of a splayed out hand, a little almost like a Cyclops hand here. He's got that going on as well. I'm probably going to keep these two hands on him is probably going to be my plan. But now diving into the figure itself, diving into old Gambit, looking interesting. Now it does look like Age of Apocalypse, but also looks a little bit different. I don't know about this head sculpt. Maybe I don't remember Age of Apocalypse like I used to. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know if I could guess Gambit. The most Gambit thing is the headband and a little bit of the hair. Just looks a little bit different, looks a little bit off, but as we know, the Age of Apocalypse changed up the character's looks a little bit. You know, Wolverine was missing an arm after all. So there's some differences here, but almost looks like a male model. Looks like he belongs in a soap opera or something. He could be straight out of the Young and the Restless. Who knows what he's up to? But it is an interesting looking head, and it could be a good fodder head too for some customizers as well. Now we do get a big cape over the top. You guys know me, I love a good cape. I love a good shawl. Very interesting. Obviously, an old body here. You got the plug-in in the back. Usually some of these capes, you get the plug-in where it'll kind of stick a little bit better. We do not have that going on here. So not the best cape. Moves around pretty good on there. It does feel like it kind of gets in the way. Obviously, I'd love soft goods. Yes, Todd McFarlane, I'd love a soft goods cape. I know you love giving us soft goods capes. Every once in a while, a Legends team does, but not all the time, as we do know. But a little bit more whimsical would be nice. And I'm sure there's third parties out there that make some of that. So you could fancy this up if that is your thing. Dive into the rest of the body. You got a blue body suit throughout here. You got a little belt action going over the top. Got all kinds of little pockets around it. Gold clasp on the belt. Brown gloved hands. We mentioned that already. And then you got some brown over the top of the blue. The blue and brown attack is a rare color combination. Very fashion forward for old Remy right here. Looking very good. Got a little bit of a thing around his leg that is sculpted. Oh, I was going to say it was sculpted in, but it is not. It is movable right here. So that's an interesting dynamic. It is not removable, anything like that, but you do have that little scarf around his leg. Got 2 brown knee pads there, looking pretty good. Then you got the brown boots, almost look like a swashbuckling pirate, down to the little gold hoops down there at the bottom. Not a bad looking one. We got 3 hoops on one side, 1 on the other one. Not sure if that really means a whole lot there. But Gambit not looking too bad here. Now, he does got pinless joints throughout, so you know those are hits I always like to be played with. Big butterfly shoulders in here, looking really nice. Arms all the way around for us. A bicep cut. Double jointed. Pinless elbows, playing all the hits. Hands back and forth, side to side. You do got the ab crunch. You do got the waist articulation. The big old Remy splits if you do need him. He's almost a gymnast, especially with that cane stick there. Leg goes up for the big boot. Thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. Boot cut. No boot cut. No boot cut. You do get ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. So usual Legends articulation here in 2025 for the most part. I guess the most challenging thing to this one is the cape and a little bit of the head, but the head's not terrible. It looks like Gambit once you give him his powers and stuff, or his powers. How about his cane, which is part of his powers, kind of. He can wheel and deal it. Why not? Maybe he'll charge up that cane. Who knows what he's up to? But looking good with the old stick and the extra hands is Gambit, Age of Apocalypse. Going on my Age of Apocalypse shelf, of course. But now we're going to the X-Men villains. We're going to old Fabian Cortez, in and out with Magneto, of course. And nobody wants to do in and out with Magneto, except maybe Rogue, right? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Fabian Cortez right there looking good. Marvel Legends, Nemesis Build-A-Figure, X-Men down at the bottom. Looking interesting. It's funny how much I loved this artwork when I was a kid. Now it's a little dark and a little clunky for me. I don't know. It's weird. Usually that stuff sticks with you and you're like, man, that still is cool. It kind of looks less cool than I remember it. And I don't know why that would be. Anyways, the rantings of a lunatic right there. There's Fabian. Then on the back, Fabian Cortez, cross-cell Nemesis. You guys know the story. Let's see what it says about Fabian back here. Fabian Cortez, once a founder of the Acolytes, betrays Magneto and makes himself an enemy of both his former leader and the X-Men, of course. Wasn't that like Avalon and all that stuff? Asteroid M? Ooh, you know what I'm talking about. See you later, goodbye. See you later, goodbye. I would also like, on top of Exodus, I would love to get the Colossus where he was in the purple and kind of a bad guy. I would love to see that Colossus in the future. Plastic prison for old Fabian Cortez. Have to imagine Exodus would get a lot of reuse as well. A little different. Exodus got to have those like wing things on his back. And maybe I like Exodus so much because we got the Toy Biz figure when I was a kid. That could be part of it. But Fabian, come on out. Oh my gosh, the cape is too tight. It's too tight in the cape. We're going to have to cut him free a little bit. Going to have to create a little bit of extra stuff. We're going to have to get the jaws of life out. That's what they call those scissors. Oh my gosh. Jeez, what are we doing? See you later. Goodbye down the hallway. What a spin. What a spin on that one there. But Fabian looking pretty good. And with a name like Fabian, how could it not be good? We do get the extra leg right here. We'll add that in the future. 2 Fists of Fury out of the package. We do get the maniacal gripping force choke hand. We also get a traditional gripping hand right here. Red gloves, looking good for what it is. And then diving in here, we do get 2 effect pieces. Of course, go right over his fist. Always look cool when you have these things all fired up. Love a little effect piece like this in a beautiful orange translucent color. Love stuff like that. A little extra pizzazz, of course. But now diving into one Fabian Cortez. Start with the head. Never understood what that little like machine is on the side. And a lot of those guys had that. I don't know if it was for communication, just looks. Not exactly sure, but he does got that going on. Got quite the hair on top. I mean, he looks like just like a businessman. But then you turn around, he's ready to party. He's ready to party. He's got that long flowing ponytail. He's ready to go. He's ready to take on the world. No articulation on that ponytail, so be careful right there. But looking good. He's gritting his teeth. He's angry. He's mad. He's got the eyebrows that match the hair. He's got 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, so he's playing human hits at least. Now, I can't even remember technically what his powers are. I mean, I guess he can charge up some stuff on his hands. I believe he can fly, if I'm not mistaken. But looks cool. I will display him with Magneto. I'm going to display them in happier times is what I'm going to end up doing. He's got some shoulder guards here. Of course, a carryover from the 80s into the early 90s. You got to have those shoulder guards going. Once again, we got a cape like a young Lando Calrissian and very fashion forward. Once again, in a purple color, going back to that kind of Acolytes team with the colors. Got the purple cape going on. This one, does it plug into the back? It looks like it does. Yes, it does. It plugs into the hole in the back, so a little different from Gambit, of course. Forearm guards in red, down to those red gloves. He's got the V in his chest, trying to give you the image of a slendering down, the old V right there, of course. Then a blue bodysuit with the bare arms, red boots to match the forearms, and the, of course, hand gloves there, looking good. And he's pretty jacked, especially for the 90s. He's been pumping some iron there, looking pretty good. Arms do go all the way around for us. Oh, we do get butterfly shoulders on this one. Bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows, playing the hits. Hands back and forth, side to side. Head back and forth, side to side. A lot of movement up and back on the head. A lot of movement on this head. It does look a little strange when he's straight up on his head. As you can see that joint right here where it cuts in. Takes your eye out of it a little bit. So maybe you want him looking just down just a little bit right there. He does got the traditional ab crunch, smooth as butter. Waist, very tight, now very loose. So it was one of those frozen ones. Had to put a little power against it. Now it's a little looser than I would like it to be. Big old splits. The old Fabian Cortez special, as it's known on Asteroid M, if I'm not mistaken. Leg goes up for the big boot. Thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. Playing all the hits. And how about a boot cut? Can't get all the hits in. Sometimes you got to leave a hit off. You want the audience to want a little bit more. So when you come back around, maybe you play that on the second go around. Who knows? Ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. The usual articulation right here. But a good feeling character. One of those ones that feels really good in hand. He does feel really good. I love the new body mold here. I believe, is this the Vulcan mold? I believe it is. But a very nice body mold. Works well for this character especially. And what do you know? He fits on a ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. So Fabian Cortez and Gambit, 2 all-timers for me, going back to my childhood. Happy to have these in the collection. Bring on the Exodus, bring on that Colossus, and bring on more Age of Apocalypse. I know not everybody feels that way, but I do. And guess what? It's my channel. So there you go. There you go. But looking good here as we're diving through this X-Men wave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on one of these videos as we work to build the Nemesis, of course. Not the Enforcer. Not the Enforcer, Todd. I wish we were. Of course, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Check out my Patreon and YouTube channel memberships for early access to all the content, all kinds of stuff, including my brand new podcast. Every single Tuesday, it is The Kyle Peterson Show. Every single Tuesday, audio platforms, wherever you find podcasts, it's over there. You can also get the video version, of course, on YouTube. Appreciate the support on the new podcast. You can also check out my new book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers Toy Line, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or via me. And if you buy it from me, you get some nice throw-ins as well. Appreciate all the support on the book. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and now The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. So for little X-Men, Marvel Legends, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?
We're going to the end of the line.